drive active.
Welcome, Enigma. I'm told you want to learn some of the more advanced aspects of warfare. A friend of mine has been summoned to a face-to-face meeting by a local pirate cartel, who've recently been attempting to blackmail me. I want you to take my friend's place and kill these criminals.
A module has run out of charges.
We've discovered the headquarters of the pirate group you dispatched in your last mission, and it's time to take them out for good. I'm going to give you a frigate loaded with proximity-based explosive charges, and your job is to fly it directly into their headquarters. As your frigate explodes, you'll be perfectly safe inside your capsule, so just relax and get back to me when you're done. work. You've now seen for yourself that losing a ship isn't the end of the world. You capsulers have a saying, though, don't fly what you can't afford to lose. If you stick to affordable ships and modules, you'll be able to learn without risking everything you own. Next up is a kind of interdiction called warp disruption. When activated on another targeted ship, these kinds of modules tackle it, disabling its warp drive. Tackling only works if you keep the target within your module's range and can overpower its warp strength. A warp disruptor lowers a ship's warp strength by 1, while the more powerful warp scrambler modules reduce it by 2. I'll give you a civilian warp disruptor to test out on a pirate that escaped from the headquarters you just blew up. Pin him down, but don't blow him up. Nicely done, Enigma. It looks like our pirate friends got the message loud and clear. Hopefully you understand the basics of warp disruption now. There's more to it, of course, but regardless of how each different type of module works, the principle is always the same: pin them down and keep them there. Next up, I want to show you something a little more on the defensive end of things.
Warp drive active.
A vessel nearby was attacked by pirates, with the only survivor left for dead in a disabled vessel. We need you to repair his ship with remote armor repairer modules, so he can return to safety. Let me stress again that you are to repair the vessel, not blow it up. I know you capsulers have an itchy trigger finger at the best of times.
active.
Alright, this next assignment is going to test your nerves. We're sending you into a much larger and better defended pirate base. We don't expect you to conquer all their forces, we just want to see you put up a good fight before being destroyed. I'll provide you with a combat frigate, but you'll have to fit it with your own modules. I keep the fittings cheap, you're not expected to come out of this one intact, although you have to score at least one kill. Let me stress this point, Enigma. We want to see you kill at least one pirate and then try to stay alive in there, so you may not leave the area until your ship has been blown to pieces. You should use the frigate I'm giving you, not one of your own ships, since I will not be replacing anything you lose. Not bad, Enigma. You did well out there against overwhelming odds. Ideally, that familiarized you a little more with the constant threat of ship loss. In these early days, you probably won't find yourself in such challenging situations, but it's helpful to know in advance how to take a ship loss and still get back up. Welcome back. Now we're going for speed. You can use two types of active propulsion modules, afterburners and their bigger brother micro-warp drives, or MWDs. We're about to teach you how to use afterburners. Afterburners don't increase your speed as drastically as MWDs, but they suffer less penalties. They use only a moderate amount of capacitor to run and cannot be disabled by warp scramblers. Afterburners are also much easier to fit to your ship, They use less power grid and less CPU, and have no fitting penalties. We've got an area riddled with dangerous electromagnetic interference that will damage your ship periodically. Your task is to fly through the clouds of EM disturbance using an afterburner, and make it to the other side in one piece. Good work, you made it through the gauntlet alive. You should take a moment to consider all that you've learned so far and how it all ties together. No module works in isolation. Warp scramblers, for example, the close-range interdiction modules, don't work well unless you can close in on your enemy, and for that you need an afterburner. Similarly, if you're using a warp disruptor, the long-range variants, you will perhaps want to keep your enemy away from you. So again, afterburners become useful. Dictating range is a crucial aspect of any engagement, but when you are tackling, it becomes particularly important.
Warp drive active.
Alongside hybrid guns, we Gallente use drones, the best option of all. They are highly versatile, with different types capable of anything from head-on rush tactics to electronic disruption. Moreover, they can allow you to fight from a safe distance. In fact, if someone compromises your electronic system and you can't even lock them, your drones will sense that aggression and come to your aid. The only limits to their number are your ship's drone bay and its drone bandwidth. We've cornered a pirate nearby. I'll provide you with a civilian drone, and I hope you finish him off with it. Excellent work out there. Ideally, you've built a little on your understanding of our nation's warfare methods. Just keep in mind that if you prefer one system over another, you can train into it. None of the empires restrict access to their weapons technology. Of course, Gallente weapons work best on Gallente ships, which often give exclusive bonuses to fitting hybrid weapons or drones, so if you tend to like any other type of weapon system, then chances are you'll want to train or cross-train into that race's starships as well. Fleet warfare is common in New Eden, and in any fleet, the fleet commander, often referred to as FC, is the most important voice to listen to. For your next assignment, you will join one of our local anti-piracy fleets as auxiliary support for a hostage rescue. You will take your orders from a local Concord FC, and your job will be explained to you once you arrive at the perimeter of the base. Follow the instructions carefully. The lives of those hostages and the completion of your own training depend on it. Well done out there. You followed your orders, as I hoped you would. There's a lot more to being a competent fleet pilot, of course, but so often it is these simple lessons that are forgotten the fastest.
Active.
Discipline counts for a great deal.
Warp drive active.
We're returning to interdiction tactics by having you test out a stasis webifier module. When activated on a target ship, the stasis webifier will encase it in a containment field and slow it down dramatically. Time for you to see for yourself. We've chased a pirate down to a nearby hideout and we want you to pin him down. We'll provide you with a civilian stasis webifier, and you may want to fit an afterburner, too. Nicely done. You applied just the right amount of firepower necessary, something which can often yield more than outright slaughter. You've almost completed your training with us. Once you're done, we plan to recommend you to our nation's capsular militia, the Federal Defense Union. What you have learned from us would be quickly overshadowed by what you could learn while fighting in service to the Federation. You might think money would be a more suitable reward, but reputation matters a great deal in New Eden, and so does finding people who share your hopes and ideals. To belong to the militia, though, you must prove yourself as a combat pilot. That is what lies ahead, Enigma. Get a combat ship fitted out and get yourself ready for a fight.
Warp drive active.
We're going to be stepping back on this one and letting you take control of the situation. One of our patrols spotted a small group of suspicious vessels headed towards a local pleasure hub. After processing their ship's ID tags, we've determined that one of the pilots is a known terrorist responsible for dozens of station bombings. A Concorde raid into the premises would be picked up by the terrorists well before the ships actually arrive. We need this murderer taken out while we have his location, so you must move in yourself and then assassinate him, understand? This is an important mission, which will have significant impact on your faction standings. Excellent work. You've proven you know how to handle yourself in deadly situations. What you've overcome today represents only a fraction of the threat a skilled capsule poses, but the basic premises are the same: warp scramblers, webifiers, afterburners, and a weapon of choice. With these tools, the knowledge to use them, and the courage to try again in the face of ship loss, you can become much more than you are now. Remember, it is as much about your mindset as it is about the ships at your disposal. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I've arranged to have your standings with the Galendi Federation increased. This bump in your reputation will help you to enlist in factional warfare, where you can fight alongside your own people. There are many battles being fought over the occupancy of strategic systems, and every ship makes a difference. Whether you follow that path or take another is up to you, and Ixma. I would recommend that you enroll in other training courses if you haven't already. And learn as much as you can before making any long-term plans. My work here is done, though. I thank you for the help you've given us, and I hope you've learned something in return. Fly safe.